Namaskar Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Sutta Sadasman Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananda Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Radha Krishna Gaur Sam Kund Radha Kundi Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Navadvip Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the Asma. All glories to the Asma. All glories to the Asma. Thank you very much. Namasantaschamang bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. We have been discussing the symptoms of Mahatma, great soul. Poor soul and great soul. Poor soul means they have got this opportunity of becoming great soul, but they misuse it. They are called poor soul. This human form of life, the soul is equal in every living being, but it is covered by this material energy, and as the covering is moved by enlightenment of knowledge, purity of consciousness, we become greater and greater, and ultimately we become great soul. Just like flower, in the beginning, in the bud state, then fructifies gradually, and then one day it comes to be very nice flower. So, one who comes to the Krishna consciousness, he is compared with a nice flower. So he is called great soul, Mahatma. So this opportunity is open for every one of us, and if we take this advantage, especially in this human form of life, then we are also open to become great soul. So what is the qualification of great soul? That is defined here in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Satatam Kirtan. He is engaged 24 hours in glorifying the Lord. This is also Kirtan. Just like we perform Kirtan with musical sound, this is also, this Bhagavad Gita reading is also Kirtan. And when you write something about God, that is also Kirtan. Kirtan means, the Sanskrit word is 𝗒𝐻𝑖, glorifying. So, anyway, when you glorify the Supreme Lord, Kirtan does not mean that you can glorify anyone and everyone. No, that is not Kirtan. Kirtan is defined in the Shastra. Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu. You have to hear and chant about the Supreme Lord. If you perform some musical performances, glorifying some of your friends or some of your leader, that is not Kirtan. That is not Kirtan. Here also it is stated, Satatam Kirtantam Mam. The Lord says, one who is glorifying me, not anyone else. Sometimes we are misled that we can glorify any one of my imagination and that goes to God. No. Here it is specifically mentioned, Satatam Kirtantam Ma. And Kirtan means glorifying the Lord. So, Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padu Sivanam, this process, this devotional process, they are meant only for the Supreme Lord, not for anyone else. So, he is Mahatma, he is a great soul, who is always engaged in the performance of glorifying the Supreme Lord. His only business is how to glorify the Lord. That's all. He has no other business. 24 hours, 7% engaged. He is Mahatma. So, Satatam Kirtantam Jatantascha. Jatantascha means with great care. How people will take up this. His only thinking is, he's only always engaged how people will take it. Because people are now averse, not only now, always, we are material world. Generally, we are all averse to God. Therefore, we are put into this material world. All wholesale, everyone. We may be by degrees, little higher or lower. That doesn't matter. Just like in the prison house, all the population, they are condemned. They are condemned. It is to be understood that they are condemned. But there may be some of them, they are first class, some of them second class, some of them, officers of the jail. But the officers of the jail, they are not condemned, don't mistake. Yes. Similarly, those who come here on the mission of preaching the glories of Lord, they are not condemned. They are glorified. They are Mahatma. And others, they are condemned. The Mahatmas, they come to glorify the Lord and to reclaim this fallen conditioned soul back to Godhead. That is their business. So they are not condemned. Otherwise, in the material world, whoever he may be, he is to be supposed to be condemned. This is the process. Dhirabrata, jatantascha. Jatantascha means just like politicians, they make plan how to execute successfully his mission. He has got a plan. Similarly, the great souls who come to glorify the Lord, who come to reclaim the conditioned souls, they are also engaged. Jatantascha. They are trying, making plan. How people will accept it. How people will accept it. Just like Lord Chaitanya. He made so many plans to give this transcendental message to the people. He left home at the age of 24 years only, just a young boy. And his wife was not more than 16 years old. And his mother was 75 years old. But he did not care. He took sannyas and all over India he distributed this Kirtan movement. Since then, every part of India they are chanting this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, this Mahatmas, they have also plan making, but for Krishna, not for any other purpose. Tatatam kirtantam jatantascha dhirabrata namasantascha. The Mahatma has only one obedience to the Lord. Namasantascha mang bhaktya. With devotion, not for any purpose. Bhakti means there is no purpose. A person who approaches God in devotion, he has no ulterior purpose. Bhakti means purity. Bhakti does not mean just like I flatter some friend or some person with a purpose. Now bhakti does not mean that. Bhakti means without any purpose, as a matter of duty, as a matter of love. A devotee, a pure devotee offers his respect to the Lord not with a purpose, but he knows the Lord is great, I am his eternal servitor. With this purpose he offers with love. Similarly, God also loves his devotee more than anyone. So this is a reciprocation of transcendental love. So bhakta means without any purpose. The devotee, the pure devotee takes pleasure in glorifying the Lord. And the Lord also takes pleasure in thinking of his devotee. So this is the relationship between Lord and thee. So bhaktya, bhakta nitya yukta. And nitya yukta means that devotional service not for a temporary purpose, because they have no purpose. So that is not temporary. Just like there are some persons who also present themselves chanting Hare Krishna, but they have a purpose. They want to gain some material satisfaction. So that is not kirtan. That is not kirtan, because they have got some purpose. Sometimes they describe that by kirtan, I become such and such, therefore I know. Kirtan should be performed for the glorification of the Lord as a matter of duty. Nitya yukta. The Mayavadis, they also perform kirtan. But their performance of kirtan, that will be described in the next verse, they are taking kirtan as the means for serving some purpose. Yesterday, when our function was going on, initiation, I described the purposeful kirtan, Hare Krishna, is offense. If you want to serve some purpose by chanting Hare Krishna, that is an offense. That offense should be avoided. So they have no purpose. The Mahatma who are offering this respectful obeisance unto the Lord, they have no purpose. Bhakta nitya yukta upasate. Their process is to worship the Lord out of love. So that is not broken at any stage. The Mayavadi, they break. They at a certain stage, they think that by kirtan, by performance of kirtan, when I reach to the highest stage, then I become one with the Supreme. There is no necessity of kirtan. Stop kirtan. No. The Mahatma, those who are really Mahatma, they do not do that. Their kirtan will continue even after liberation. Nitya means eternal. You are eternal. Every living entity is eternal. So, as after getting out of this body, you also continue to exist. Nahannate hannamane sarire. Due to destruction, annihilation of this material body, you are not destroyed. In the material world, we take another body. The spiritual world, there is no question of changing the body. As soon as we get our spiritual life, then there is no need of changing the body. You get your eternal body. So, because you are eternal and your body is eternal, similarly, your kirtan performance is also eternal. Your kirtan performance is also eternal. Not that after you get liberation, you stop it. Rather, when you get liberation, you chant it with more devotion, with more ecstasy. Dhirabrata. Brata means bhav. So, this is the process of kirtan, and one who performs kirtan in this way without any purpose, annavilasita sunnam, bhakti means without any purpose for material gain. Annavilasita sunnam, jnana karmadhanavritam, without being covered by speculative process and fruitive activities. Anukullena Krishna Anusilanam, favorably, just to please the Supreme Lord. That is bhakti, not with any purpose. Now the Lord says, Jnana Yoggena Chapi Anne Jajantamam Upasate Ekattena Pritaktena Bahuda Vissuto Mukham. Now there are others. Now here it is said, Anne. Anne means others. Or you can take it, there are other Mahatmas. But actually, so far these verses are concerned, in one verse he has said particularly that this is the symptom of Mahatma great souls. In the next verse he says, Anne, others. Just like you sometimes say particularly that such and such gentleman, you particularly, I will say his name. But when you speak of others, those who are not important, you say, and others. Others, they are not, you are not taking so much importance of the others. So similarly, here it is said, Anne. Anne means others. Those who are not actually in pure devotion, but they are trying something in transcendental line, and they are trying to gain a spiritual salvation. So, Mahatma means who are directly in touch with the Supreme Lord in devotion and service, unalloyed, without any adulteration. But others, those who are of opinion that after salvation we shall become one with the Lord, they are described here as Anne. Anne means others. They have not been specifically said that they are Mahatmas. But Vaishnava philosophers, this Anne, this word, they take it, there are other Mahatmas also. But in the Bhagavad Gita it is not mentioned. Anyway, they are also Mahatmas because they are trying for transcendental realization. So their method is Jnana Yoggena. Jnana Yoggena means they are trying to understand the supreme absolute truth by philosophical speculation. Jnana Yoggena. Just in the 4th chapter we have learned it, that there are 4 kinds of persons who begin devotional service. Chaturvidha bhajanti mam sukriti na uchana. There are 4 kinds of persons who have got some background of pious life. They only, not others. Those who are miscreants, they cannot approach God. Namang prapadante mudha duskitina naradhama. Those who are simply miscreants and fools, they cannot approach God. That is stated. But those who are pious, not miscreants, so there are 4 classes amongst the pious. And what are they? Pious. Artha arthati jignasu jnani. Artha means those who are distressed, in distress. Pious people are generally there in distress. So, among the pious men, those who are in distress, those who are in wants of money, and those who are inquisitive to know what is the absolute truth, and those who are searching after the transcendental knowledge. These 4 classes begin after the understanding what is God. They have heard that there is God,
and they begin their research. The artha, they pray for recovery from the distress. The man who is in want of money, he wants some money from the Supreme Lord. I am in distress, I want some money. And the Jnani, they are after knowledge, they want to know what is God. And Jigyasu and inquisitive, oh, let me inquire what is the science of God. So out of these four, those who are in distress and those who want some material help, they may cease after their purpose is fulfilled. When their distress is over, or they have got some money, they may cease to worship the Supreme Lord. But the Jnani, they are not ceasing. They will continue. They will continue unless they find where is the Supreme Lord. The last point, they will know, they will go on. Therefore, in another verse we find, Bhaunam Janmanam Ante. Bhaunam Janmanam, after many, many births. The transcendental process is so nice that if you finish 50% in this life, so you will begin in your next life from 51%. It will never be lost. Your material acquisition will be lost, will be finished with the loss of your body. But spiritual acquisition will not be finished. So whatever you acquire, 10%, 20%, 25%, 50%, but better to achieve 100% in this life. Don't wait for the next life. Why not? It is so easy. Why should we wait for another life to achieve the success? So anyway, this determination is there for those who are searching God out of knowledge. So here it is said, Jnana Yoggena. Jnana Yoggena means by sacrifice of knowledge. They are searching. So what is that process of searching? Who is the gentleman going and coming? You can block it. He is going and coming. Who is it? Jnana Yoggena Chapanya. So this Jnana Yogga, this sacrifice of knowledge, the Jnanis, the philosophers, they proceed. And what is their idea? Jajanta mam upasate. That philosophical research is also accepted as sacrifice, and that is also another kind of worship and devotional service to the Lord. That is also accepted. But their method is ekattena, prithakattena, and 𝗏𝗿𝗶𝗹 visatomikam. Monism, pantheism, and universal form. That is their process. So out of these three classes, those who are trying in the path of monism to become equal, one with the Supreme, amongst these speculationists, they are considered first class. Ekattena. Their process is that think of themselves that I am God. I am God. And they worship themselves, not any other God. They garland themselves. In this way, that process is called aham graha upasana. Himself, he takes himself that I am the symbol of God. The purpose of this aham graha upasana is that if you study yourself about your spiritual position, then you can understand what is God. What is God? If you minutely study your spiritual position, ekattena, because we are qualitatively one with God. So if I analytically study myself, what I am, what are my propensities, what I want to do, so many things we have got. If we simply make an analysis of ourselves, then we can study also the Supreme Lord in greatness. That's all. Take for example, that I want to be independent. Nobody says that I can be dependent on you. No, I cannot accept any spiritual master. That means the spirit of independence. The spirit of independence is there. Because you are part and parcel of the Supreme. He is supremely independent. He is described, Sarat. In the Srimad Bhagavatam he is described Sarat. Sarat means complete independence. So, because we are part and parcel of the Supreme, so we have got our independence, although it is minute. So that minute independence, out of that minute independence, sometimes we say, no, why shall I accept a spiritual master? Why shall I accept any authority? I shall search out. So they undergo severe type of penances and regulative life, but they think of themselves that I am God. So this is also accepted as one of the process. But the process will end after many, many births. This process will not help him to get liberation in one life. Otherwise, why it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan. Jnanavan, by this process of searching in knowledge, has to take many, many births. Therefore, there is no liberation. Because he has to take many, many births, that means that he does not get liberation in one life. Then, after many, many births, when he comes to the point, 𝗲𝗍 when he understands Vasudeva, Lord Krishna is everything, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mang Prapaddate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Now here it is said Mahatma, Mahatmanastamang Pratha. The Mahatma's qualification is always chanting and always thinking, always glorifying me. Now Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha, there is it. After many, many births of speculative service, when he will become a Mahatma and will be engaged in this service of constantly glorifying the Lord, then his searching out will be perfect. So, this Jnana-Yogena, by the speculative process, thinking oneself that I am God, that's all right. But I am God in quality. I am God not in quantity. Several times I have repeatedly placed before you that just like the particle of gold, qualitatively one with gold, there is no difference of chemical composition in the particle of the gold and the lump of gold. Similarly, chemically, we are one with God. All the qualities which God has got, we have also got. But He has got in greater quantity, I have got in smaller quantity. That's all. Just like in this material world, you have got your bank account and some millionaire, he has got also bank account. So as constituent of the bank, you are also a member. But you are not equal to the man who has got millions of dollars deposited in the bank. Similarly, you are God. You are God qualitative. That's all. So these speculators, the philosophical speculators, they simply understand only one part of his situation. That is qualitatively one with God. But they cannot understand that they are different from the Supreme quantitative. They do not understand. So they will require to incarnate or transmigrate many, many births to understand that he is not quantitatively equal with God. And when he understands, quantitatively, Lord is supreme, then he prapaddate. Prapaddate means he is in surrender. So you have to reach to that surrendering point. Although Mahatma, here is accepted Mahatma, but that is that we are awaiting that surrendering process. And when we are actually in that surrendering process, then we become actual Mahatma, and it is accepted in the Bhagavad Gita, Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. that sort of Mahatma is very rare to be found. To surrender unto Krishna, to surrender unto the Supreme Lord, we may theoretically say and speculate, but full surrender, 100% surrender, that is a difficult job for ordinary man. But if one likes, he can do that. Now, as this Krishna consciousness prescribes that you become immediately Krishna conscious. Satatanki, the process is very simple. But the speculation is, they think, what is this? They are simply chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna. Because it is a very simple method, they think it is not very good. But actually, it is the highest method, recommended by Lord Chaitanya and recommended in authoritative scriptures, just like I have several times repeated in this meeting. In the Bhagavatam it is said, Kalo dosha nidhi rajan yasti juga mahanaguna kirtanadeva krishnasya. Kirtanadeva krishnasya is particularly mentioned. That simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Mukta Sangha, he becomes liberated. He becomes liberated. Mukta Sangha, Parang Braja, and goes to the spiritual kingdom. So it is for out of mercy the Lord has given in this age that you take this simple process, because you cannot execute any other process very nicely. But this process you can execute very nicely anywhere, any circumstances, any place, any condition. There is no condition, no rules, no regulation. Simply chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, and become at once a Mahatma. Thank you very much. Any question?
Hare Krishna. What is the definition of Mahatma or great soul? Mataji. Piche Mataji ko dekha.
Hare Krishna, great soul is always 24 hours engaged in Krishna's kirtan.
Hare Bol. Satatam Kirtanam. He is engaged 24 hours in glorifying the Lord. What is Kirtan and what is not Kirtan? Yes.
Prabhupada was telling that Kirtan is glorification of the Supreme Lord, not ourself or somebody else. Sattam Kirtayanto Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. So he was quoting that verse that Kirtan should be for Vishnu.
Why we are put into this material world? Yes.
Because there is some degree of averse to the Lord, so that's why we have come to material.
Hare Bol. Why do the Mahatmas come to this material world? Any? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The great souls plan how people will accept and to reclaim back fallen souls back to Godhead.
Hare Bol. The Mahatmas, they come to glorify the Lord and to reclaim the fallen souls, the conditioned souls, from the material world to the spiritual world, back to Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada told that great souls always come to the material world to reclaim the fallen souls. In that, Srila Prabhupada gave the example of how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to material world and how he reclaimed the fallen souls. What Srila Prabhupada told him. Okay.
You are asking example or analogy? As a prison.
So how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so he explained.
Okay. Here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at the age of 24, he took sannyas and he left his wife, who was 16 years old, and his mother, who was 75 years old, and he went throughout, traveled throughout India and spread the chanting of the holy names, Kirtan.
Hare Bol. How we should perform Kirtan and how we should not perform Kirtan. Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhupada was telling that Kirtan should be performed without any purpose, as a matter of duty or love. If it is done with some purpose, then it is not Kirtan. Anyabhilashita shunyam. Jnana karma dhyanavrutam also he was mentioning later.
Hare Bol. Then Srila Prabhupada was explaining what is the relationship between the Lord and his pure devotee. What is the relationship between the Lord and his pure devotees?
The devotees always glorify the Lord, and the Lord is also thinking about his devotees.
Hare Bol. The pure devotees take pleasure in glorifying the Lord, and the Lord also takes pleasure in thinking of his devotee. This is the relationship between the Lord and his bhakta. What is the difference between the kirtan of a Mahatma and Mayavadi? Anyone else who has not answered yet? Okay.
Kirtan of a Mayavadi, it stops, it is not eternal, but whereas for a devotee, being a soul, actually his soul being eternal, his Kirtan is also eternal.
Hare Bol. Mayavadi, they break at that at a certain stage, they think that by Kirtan, by performance of Kirtan, when I reach to the highest stage, then I become one with the Supreme. There is no necessity of Kirtan. Stop Kirtan. No. The Mahatma, those who are really Mahatma, they do not do that. Their Kirtan will continue even after liberation. So his Kirtan is also eternal. Just like after liberation, one goes to the spiritual world and one gets the spiritual body, and that body is eternal. Similarly, the Kirtan is eternal. Who cannot approach God? Yes.
Prabhupada said, miscreants and fools, namam duskritina moda, prapadyanta naradhama, mayaya parita jnana, asurim bhava ashrita.
Hare Bol. And then he explained another 4 people who can approach God. Who are those people? Yes, Mataji there, piche. Hare Bol. What is the process of Jnana Yajna? Yes. ये इनका हो गया ऑलरेडी. और कोई आंसर नहीं किया. यस माता जी.
So the one who search the knowledge that who is God, how can I reach? So by jnana or knowledge, they try to reach God.
Yes, for a little more.
Okay, and then ultimately they have to take too many births. They cannot reach God with the knowledge.
Yeah, okay, that's something else also. So Srila Prabhupada told. Okay, next Mataji.
Jnana yajna means sacrifice of knowledge. Then Prabhupada gave one shloka like yajanto mam upasate.
Okay. Something more you want to tell? Okay.
Prabhupada said it's philosophical research. They research on their own self. They understand their own qualities, and here they reach the conclusion that they become one with God. But actually, he tells that the process is ahangra upasana. So there, you see that you are qualitatively one with God, so not quantitatively one with God. So that part they understand, and slowly they become purified. It takes many births, bahunam janmanam ante. In that context, Prabhupada says.
Haribo. They undergo severe type of penance and regulative life, but they think of themselves that I am God. So this is also accepted as one of the process, but the process will end after many, many births. So after many, many births, what is their conclusion? Antardeep Prabhu.
I'm God.
Yeah,
after many births, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Sorry, so they actually finally come to this conclusion, which the devotee has come to in the sense of that he should surrender to Krishna. But they come after many births.
Haribol. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyante Vasudeva sarvam iti sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. How we are not God quantitatively, we are God qualitatively. So Srila Prabhupada explained very nicely, and he gave 2 examples for that. Yes.
One example Prabhupada gave for gold, that gold piece is qualitatively similar to the big piece of and
second example.
Prabhupada was saying the example of the accounts. Like one billionaire also have accounts, and simple person like also us. We are also having accounts.
Where?
But money is not there in
we
our
don't have account. Yeah. Brahmacharis don't. Okay. Haribol. So, Prabhupada very nicely explained. There is no difference of chemical composition in the particle of gold and the lump of gold. Similarly, chemically we are one with God. All qualities which God has got, we also have that quality. But He has got in a greater quantity. I have got in smaller quantity. That's all. So Srila Prabhupada explained how in bank, so many people, they open bank account. Millionaire also open bank account, and an ordinary person also open bank account. But that is not similar. Similarly, quantitatively, we are not equal to God. When we can actually become Mahatma, yes.
Prabhupada said that like when we understand I am God in quality, not in quantity.
Okay, that is okay. One more point. Yes, Mataji. Yes. How much surrender? 100% surrender. Hari Bol. When we understand, when we surrender ourselves completely, he says that we may theoretically say and speculate, but full surrender, 100% surrender, that is a difficult job for ordinary man. But if in one life he can do that, how we can become liberated? For that, Srila Prabhupada quoted a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes.
Kalau dosha nidhe rajan astihe ko mahan guna kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param rajant. By engaging chanting.
Hari Bol. This Krishna consciousness prescribes that you become immediately Krishna conscious. Satatam kirtayanto mam. The process is very simple, but this speculation is thing, oh, what is this? They are simply chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Because it is very simple method, they think it is not very good. But actually, it is the highest method recommended by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and recommended in authoritative scriptures, just like I have several times repeated in this meeting. In the Bhagavatam, it is said, he quoted the shloka, Kirtanadeva Krishnasya. It is particularly mentioned that simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Mukta Sangha, he becomes liberated. He becomes liberated. Mukta Sangha and Param Vrajet, and goes to the spiritual kingdom. So it is for out of mercy, the Lord has given you this age, that you take this simple process because you cannot execute any other process very nicely. But this process you can execute very nicely, anywhere, in any circumstances, any place, any condition. There is no condition, no rules, no regulation. Simply chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, and become at once a Mahatma. Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya. Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi.